What's up, guys? Welcome to another night of the GSL Codes. Tastos is here. We're going to be here throughout this entire rest of the tournament. And I got to say, man, we're actually starting out with some kick-ass matches here for day one of the round of 8.
Just ridiculous. SOS against Hero. You know, these guys both not in it for BlizzCon yet. Hero's getting pretty close. SOS has to win the tournament. So that's really important. Of course, Myungshik versus Gumiho. Crazy matchup, kind of the two big underdogs that are left in the round of 8.
I'm especially excited about this first match. Do you have anybody that you're rooting for?
SOS.
I am as well.
He's a defending world champ. We want him at BlizzCon.
It's funny because SOS's story a lot of times when he was winning BlizzCons, people wanted SOS to lose a lot of times. They're like, oh no, this is a cooler narrative if this guy makes it. But honestly, now if SOS has won this many times, if he's doing this well, it's going to be super cool if he's at BlizzCon again.
Yeah, well, especially if he gets in at the last possible second.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, Tasteless, which Batman villain am I?
Oh, you are the Penguin.
No, I'm the Riddler. What? It's raining out, Tasteless.
Where'd this come? Was this yours?
There's
just an umbrella here.
There's just an umbrella here.
So, see, if you say a bad joke, we can do some vaudeville stuff, right? Where I'm like, why not, and pull you off. Yeah, I don't know whose this is. That's funny.
Yeah, don't open it indoor, Tasteless. It's bad luck.
That's right. But if the bad guys come, you can use it like the Penguin and like block all the bullshit.
Oh,
all right. Well, I'm glad we have our casting umbrella. So
yeah, very important.
So if SOS wins and all the nerds cry, the tears don't just fall on us immediately.
Actually, you know what we'll do is if like Hero's beating SOS and then he goes to the bathroom, we'll just like open it real quick in his face while he's walking by. He'll be like, oh shit! And then like he'll just not be able to play.
And then the Nazi planes are attacking us, so I make the pigeons go up and crash into it like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and then, I want to get out of the building quicker, so I jump out the window with this and then break my legs because it doesn't help at all.
We had a graphic up. Jay, can you actually bring that back up? That was too important, but we were joking around. But we have the finals.
Nothing's more important than joking
around.
There
it is. Sorry. Thank you, Jay.
Oh,
those are our finals, so we are officially announcing that.
Yeah.
So go to that.
That is an outdoor stage.
That's right.
Going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. We had that same stage for MVP versus Marine King in that finals. Love it. Can't wait to get back there. So, this is our bracket in the round of 8, guys.
That's right.
We're doing that top half today. Hero versus SOS, Myungshik against Gumiho. And then, of course, on Friday, Ryung versus Byun, and Deer versus TY. Out of all these players, only TY is locked for BlizzCon. Deer, Byun, Hero are all really, really close right now.
Yep.
And, I mean, everyone still has a chance, obviously, because the winner gets to go straight there. But this is, like, really the countdown right now, right? We're getting super close.
And, of course, we're getting closer and closer to crowning a GSL Codes finals. Only 2 GSL Codes a year. Obviously, so much on the line for these players. They've finally gotten this far, where they just have to prepare for one opponent in a best-of-5. Hero and SOS, I think this is going to be close. I'm leaning slightly towards SOS because I think the more games he has to play against his opponent, the better he does. But, look, I would be pleasantly surprised to see Hero move on as well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves Hero. This guy is a great tournament champion and whatnot, and it's always fun to have him going further, going deeper, getting to BlizzCon.
I was talking to Mr. Che about Myungshik versus Gumiho, and we just don't know who's going to win that.
Yeah.
That's a really tough one to call.
That's a couple of tricky players.
We got to figure out where exactly Gumiho's Cyclones go and what they're going to do, and then we'll have a better idea of that. So in just a moment here, we're going to be going into our first best-of-5 tonight. It's going to be a PvP Hero versus SOS, so tell your friends to join us here at AfreecaTV.
윤영서의 타이밍이 좀 괜찮아 보이는데요. 사이클이 나와서 목표를 상대방에게 시간을 이제는 싸울 수 있습니다.
이번에 들어가면서 하나씩 해방선 끌어내고
해방선도 전투방패를 할 때까지 전투방패가
조금만 더 버텨야 되는
복구 안전변하는 순간가 나오겠다 머릿속에 그렸습니다.
김준호 선수 별것 가지고 난 이후에 1합을 뚫어버리고
이렇게 대군주가 앞마당 상황을 봐도 강현우 선수가 건설로봇 정찰 안에서
김유진 선수의 반짝이 추가소로
시작이 안전을 간다 나오나요? 김유진도
이번에 흔들어주고 여기서 좀 버텨
이게 오히려 변수가 될 수 있습니다. 건설도 자극제가 되기 때문에 6-7개 잡고 있어서
5개 6개
소리가 형님이
승부자 김유진 선수가 마지막에 승리다.
GSL 경기장 와서 경기가 제 생각대로 되게 잘 되는 것 같아요. 그래서 우승할 거니까 많이 응원해주세요.
8강에서도 꼭 올라가서 계속 살아남을 수 있도록 할 테니까 많은 응원 부탁드립니다.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to go right into the interview with our two players, our two Protoss players, to see what their thoughts are before this match, how they prepared, anything they want to say to you guys at home before they start this.
김준호 선수와 김유진 선수 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
Let's go ahead and meet our first player from the round of 8, or two players, excuse me. Hello, hello.
두 선수의 만남을 두고 바로 2014년에 IEM 월드 챔피언십 결승을 떠올리는 분들도 많았습니다.
A lot of fans are thinking about that 2014 IEM finals match between you guys.
어떤 기분이 들었는지 솔직한 마음을 들어보고 싶습니다. 김준호 선수.
What went through your minds that when you saw you were facing each other in the brackets?
본심 때 유진이랑 공유 때 유진이는 또 다르기 때문에 그리고
네.
무엇보다 전진 게이트가
SOS is a totally different player in Legacy of the Void.
네, 할만하다고 생각하고 있어.
와, 이제는
So I
다르다
think
자신감이
he's
느껴지는
definitely a
박현진입니다.
beatable
김유진
opponent,
선수는 어떠셨어요?
especially in Legacy. He's not going to have the same kind of cheese he tries to pull off that he could get away in other expansions.
네.
요즘 또 준호가 잘해가지고 어려운
SOS jumping in saying if I could still go for proxy gates and stuff like that, I would have already been able to beat Hero. But that's out of the meta right now, so I can't do it.
이런 생각을 했거든요. 확실히 인연은 인연인 것 같아요. 서로가 미울 수도 있고 좀 어떻게 느끼는지 이런 부분도 궁금한데 김준호 선수 확실히 상대에 대해서 나에게 특별한 의미인지 궁금하네요.
유진이요?
네. 중요한 길목에서 참 많이 만나잖아요.
So what does SOS mean to you? Is it a special friend or
많이 만나가지고
you know, a worthy opponent? Tell us about that. You guys always meet in matches.
그냥 유진이가 도발을 안 해서 당황스러운데
아, 그래요?
그냥 유진이랑 하면은
I'm not
게임이
sure
재밌는
why SOS is trying to be nice to me tonight.
김준호 선수 만나는 거 불편하지 않으세요?
But frankly, it's always interesting to play against SOS. We always make fun games for the viewers.
제가 이길 때도 있고 질 때도 있었는데 항상 누가 압도적으로 이기진 않았어요.
So we played against each other a lot, and sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
그래요. 자, 두 선수
But
모두
we're never really able to
이번
dominate each other. It should be a pretty tight match also.
프로토스전이 싫다 언급을 했고 실제로 최근 중요한 경기에서 프로토스에게 발목을 잡히기도 했습니다. 그런 만큼 오늘 경기 중요성
You guys
어떻게
both mentioned you don't like to play
받아들이고 있는지 궁금한데 이번에 넘으면 결승 간다 이렇게 생각할 수도 있겠죠. 김준호 선수는 어떻게 받아들이고 있어요?
If you win today,
네,
you
제가
might not be up against another Protoss in this tournament.
네.
Tell us
또
about
이렇게
that.
막상 걸려서 연습을 많이 하다 보니까
네.
어느 정도 답이 나오더라고요. 그래서
Yeah, I said I didn't like PvP, but during my practice,
재밌는
I've
경기
actually been
할
winning a
수
lot against the
있을 것
Protosses I train versus.
김유진 선수는
So frankly, I think I'm pretty prepared today. Your thoughts, SOS?
이렇게
네.
토프전 성사돼서 그냥 어쩔 수 없이 연습 많이 했던 것 같아요. 연습하니까
네.
좀
I really didn't want to
괜찮아진 것
face up
같기도
against the
하고.
Protoss in the round of 8.
특구전 어느
But
정도 극복을 한 것
since I have
같은
to face
답변인데요.
Hero,
자, 두
excuse me, I
선수가
practice
오늘
against Protoss a lot.
경기에서 성적이 어떻게 나오느냐에 따라서 블리즈컨이 참 많이 달라집니다. 확실히 작년과는 다르죠. 작년 김준호 선수는 WCS 랭킹 1위로 블리즈컨에 입성했고
So last year, Hero was the WCS ranked number 1 player to go to BlizzCon.
하지만
And of
이번에
course,
우승
SOS was the
경기가
champion of
누가
BlizzCon
급한 거예요?
last year. What are your thoughts on that, Hero?
둘 다 급할 것 같고 제가
네.
두 번 연속 좀 압도적으로 가서
Well, obviously we
이런
both want to go to
기분을
BlizzCon.
느껴본 적이 없는데 뭔가 되게 콩닥콩닥한 것 같고 그리고
네.
My
서로
spot is
간절한
secure this year.
거의 불컴빵 지금 하는
But obviously I didn't win last year, so I'm pretty hungry to win BlizzCon this time around.
나올 것 같아요.
네, 김유진 선수도 지금 양보할 때가 아닌 것 같죠?
저는 블리즈컨은 지금 별로 미련 없고
아,
우선 이겨야 될 것 같아요.
오늘 경기.
마지막 리그이기 때문에
I've got to win this tournament to go to
잘해야
BlizzCon.
될 것 같아요.
네, 최선을 다하겠다.
I'm not even really
이렇게
thinking about,
밝혀주셨는데요. 저희도
you know,
기대를 하고
that right now.
있습니다.
Just thinking about this match here in the round of 8.
동족전 오늘 경기 기대하고 있는데요. 서로에게 한마디씩 강력하게 나누고
Any
오늘
final
경기를
comments to each other
시작하도록
before we start our
하겠습니다.
match?
먼저 김준호 선수, 김유진 선수에게 한마디.
네 오늘
Here, what do you have to say?
유진이가 꼬리를 내려서 이상한데 그냥 재밌는 경기 했으면 좋겠어요. 저도.
SOS doesn't seem like himself today. I think he's being too nice. I just want to have a fun match against him. And what do you have to say, SOS?
그냥 자신 없는 건 아닌데 그래도 재밌는 게임 오늘 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 재밌게 하자.
네,
I'm confident we're
재미있게
definitely gonna have some fun
하자
tonight.
자, 2016년 블리즈컨을 걸고 펼치는 경기가 됐습니다. 김준호 선수와 김유진 선수의 8강 1경기 본격적으로 시작하겠습니다.
All right. we're going to start the round of 8. So
Wow.
kind of an odd interview there, actually, Artosis.
What do you think, Tasis? Will we see fun matches tonight?
Apparently, we're very sure we're going to have fun matches. It's not very clear who's confident on who's going to win.
To cast the fun matches
Yes.
that these two always have because they always make fun games against each
Well,
other.
they're two very interesting Protoss players, and they definitely have styles that are kind of their own, and they're very good at trying to play around each other's styles. So this should be interesting. It should be a one-of-a-kind PvP series. It's kind of tough to say who's going to move on. It's kind of odd as well because both these guys are so good. You kind of want them both to move on, but that's just not how it works, right? So let's see what actually occurs as these two guys start up. They've had a lot of time to prepare. It is a best of 5. We're going to see how well they can actually download each other's play styles mentally and try to adapt. We're also going to see how many red herrings and build orders and strats they can throw out there to mix up the other player's ability to actually farm data in each game.
Yeah, it's definitely SOS, the king of those mind games. And how will that go against Hero here, though? Because as he was saying, a lot of the styles that SOS used before to kill Hero, things like proxy gateways, really don't work in Legacy of the Void. You can't, like...
Well,
it's
I mean,
so
you
hard
start
to
out with
catch
too
people.
many... Yeah.
As you said, like there's too many probes out there. You just immediately get into all sorts of attack. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's a different beast. I think SOS definitely was able to exploit the worker count and just the tempo of the game in the previous iterations of StarCraft 2, but it's totally different now. Here in Legacy now, SOS is pretty brainy, he's pretty sneaky, but I don't know if he's going to have enough solid mid-game to take on Hero. Now, Hero's pretty well-rounded, man. PvP, he can kind of do it all, so maybe Hero is in fact the favorite.
Yeah, well, I don't know who to say is the favorite here, right? Because we're into a new meta of PvP right now.
That's right.
There's it's so much about adepts. And SOS was really one of the first players to already know it was about adepts. But now everyone knows it's about adepts. So some of his games that we saw before, he'd just bleed off adepts all game long, harassing. And we were like, wow, that's really kind of a weird way to play. Everyone else was still going Blink Stalkers.
Right.
But the thing is, Hero's going to have very refined builds, very good stuff. By the way, look at that veto from Hero. Very, very smart.
Yeah.
Last person you're ever going to beat on New Gettysburg is going to be SOS.
Yeah, that map is weird enough. You might as well knock that out of the pool. The weirder the maps are, the more unique strategies and different play styles that a map will allow for, the less likely you are to want to play against SOS on that. So we're having a little bit more of our traditional maps. What are your thoughts on Judgment being taken out?
Well, that's just one that they don't really get to play, right? It's not on the ladder or anything.
Yeah.
The rest of these maps, Rakshear's been around longer, so... Yeah, Judgment's it's a giant 4-player map, too, which can add a little bit of randomness if you scout your opponent late and you scout you a little bit quicker and whatnot, so...
Well, it looks like we're going to be going into this right away. These two guys going to duke it out, man. We're going to start this out on King Sejong Station. Guys, get out there and tell your friends to join us. We've got some great matches here tonight. Again, so tough to say who's actually going to win between these two. I feel like it really is basically 50-50.
Yeah, it truly is. As you can see in Legacy of the Void, they're 4-3 right now. But of course, SOS dominating during the Heart of the Swarm era.
That's right. That's right.
But I think SOS is still coming into his own in Legacy of the Void. So I don't know, man. I am totally rooting for SOS here tonight.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him too. I'll be happy though if Hero moves on, but I don't know. It'll be fun to see what happens if we get SOS at BlizzCon again. Anyways, guys, our countdown has started. Get ready for Hero versus SOS on the map King Sejong Station. In the upper left, in the blue, our first Protoss player,
CJ Entis, Hero.
in the bottom right, in the red, our second Protoss player,
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
2 thumbs up from SOS.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go into this one without a ton of opinions here because these guys have had a lot of time to prepare. Thanks for coming down to the studio, brother. Welcome. These guys have had a ton of time to prepare, and I would say SOS has a greater range of strats and weird builds.
Yeah.
But Hero is very adaptable, so I kind of want to see what they're going to be bringing out here to start out this match, and maybe we can try to decide from there. But I don't want to make too many build order predictions beyond that, because even though SOS has a really versatile style of play, he might not reach into the toolkit and try to use that, especially against Hero, who I think is super stable against oddball play.
It's a good point, Tasteless. And one of the funny things about SOS is that he can play like just a stand-up macro game too, right? Like he can actually play standard StarCraft and crush people with that as well. So he can really bust out anything at this point. But no doubt these two are going to be going like completely at each other's throats. This is like, I mean, if they win this round, they're probably going to go to the finals. I think everyone would agree these two are better than Gumiho and Myungshik.
I think that's safe to say.
And that's not to say that they just will beat them. Obviously, both those players are on a tear right now. But, you know, this is almost a match to get in the finals for them, I think, in their own minds.
Yeah, well said. I can't disagree with that. So we're already having variance in the build orders here. We have SOS right now going for double Adepts, whereas Hero is going for 2 Stalkers.
And there's no surprise in that either. Like SOS since the beginning has been really favoring making Adepts early on in the game. You know, obviously he gets a lot of scouting done with those and harassment. Hero throwing down a Stargate. Looks like it is in his main base, right? So probably just going to go into that Oracle play.
So we'll have to see from here when Hero does elect to get his second base. In PvP, you really can't wait too long on your second base if they're getting theirs, unless, of course, you're intending to try to bust them with something coming up here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it's definitely something to watch for. Now, SOS is getting his own Stargate behind the Nexus. Okay, so we see now Hero going to get his Nexus as well, which would make sense, I think, with the 2 Stalkers and then a Stargate. It's not like he did a Robo build. But, you know, these guys have so many builds. PvP is just so rich with build orders that you can, sometimes you want to wait a little bit and see what the next few steps are, especially with these two.
Certainly the case. Now, an Oracle on the way for Hero, and SOS goes into Phoenix. So SOS, as of this moment, is extremely ahead. He got the faster Nexus, and he's going Phoenix against Oracle. So this is an absolutely fantastic start to this game for SOS.
And I think if he pulls this correctly and keeps those Phoenixes at home, he's going to be in really good shape.
Yeah.
We do want to see, though, maybe the Phoenixes decide to move out on the map and try to do some harass there, and then maybe the Oracle can get in. But I believe, is the Phoenix in there somewhere? Might just not see. No, it's over there. Okay.
Okay, he's kind of sitting there waiting for the Oracle right now, but the Oracle is going the long way around. Looks like the Phoenix checking for that right now as well.
So good game sense here by SOS.
Oh my
God, he catches it.
Be kidding me.
And did not pursue.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. He must have been microing, maybe his Adepts in the center of the map there, because that was pretty massive.
He should have killed that for sure.
Yeah, and now that he hasn't killed it, like, Hero is not nearly as far behind as he would have been. Like, to just straight lose that would have been terrible, but now he can use it for things like tagging or throwing down stasis wards, you know, maybe try to harass with it later, but definitely that was a misstep.
So we have the Phoenix is out here now. He's going to continue to pull these. We do see that Hero has halted production at the starport because obviously SOS is ahead. There's no point in Hero trying to play catch-up since SOS is not going to stop, at least for a little bit here, incrementing those Phoenixes out. SOS does dive in, try to get a few kills on the probes, does take one out, and then backs off.
And look at the Oracle actually trailing those Phoenixes right now. That was kind of
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, let me at him, boss.
No, what? You're an Oracle. But Blink on the way right now for Hero, and that makes sense, right? Because he kind of has to make the Stalkers as anti-Phoenix, which kind of forces him into Blink. And, of course, SOS knows that, so he's making his Immortals already. And the more that you look at this game in every way so far, the matchup has been more favorable to SOS.
Yeah, SOS is just off to a good start. He's got some good rhythm with the Immortals coming out right now. That's always going to be a big, thing to focus on, is the fact that he's just going to have a superior Immortal number. We're going to have to wait and see when the third base is going to be taken. But SOS diving in here, takes out 3 more probes, and then backs out. Just trying to... Oh, okay, nice tagging there.
Yeah, very nice usage of that Oracle, and that's going to make it a lot harder to actually get anything done with these until that goes away.
And it does look like he's going to be finishing Blink up, that Hero I'm talking about, while taking a third base. Blink with the third base, I don't think it's really that safe for SOS to push out now, so I think that's a well-timed third base.
Absolutely. That's like what he needs to do because there's so many flying units. He does have that like ground advantage for a little bit, and because he's gone into a lot of Blink Stalkers, you know, he needs to get a better economy than his opponent who has a slightly better unit composition.
Do we know the Immortal count? Is it 2 or is it 3?
It should be 2 right now.
Okay,
for
so
SOS,
that's a third one that should be chrono boosted out right now.
I would say that that's the case. I guess we'll see if he does try to poke up.
And
it's scouting.
It's going to be much later Blink here. Oh, it's hold up. Is he going to be able to get this? Looks like he should be in
bait.
Wow, really nicely done. Gets one Phoenix.
Really, really well done there.
So now we have Glaives coming here for Hero.
Yeah, and that is exactly the way that you want to play right now. It's all about getting the Immortals to counter any Stalkers that are there, and then just a bunch of Adepts. They're so cheap, they're going to shoot so fast. And, of course, Hero is going into that as well. He's making his own Immortals. Don't expect to see any more Stalkers made this game.
Yeah, he's going to be relying heavily on just trying to keep that, that powerful tech coming out, a lot of damage being dealt here. Now, you got to be careful when you come up like this. Wow, gets in there, does that damage, and then blinks out. Nicely done taking out that sentry. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more value in your army if they don't have the sentry there with the Guardian Shield. Everything is just going to take more damage.
It's a great thing to do to pick those off, especially considering his Stalkers don't hold a ton of value the later we get into this game. Like, they are still good. It's still a pretty good unit, but really it's all about the Adept Immortal. By the way, I do want to point out, once again, that Oracle and the fact that SOS didn't kill it with the first Phoenix, that's been worth a ton so far.
Absolutely.
He's gotten some great tags. He's gotten great intel with it. Just very, very well done.
So we have the transfer now occurring over here. With the probes now going up to that northern base there for Hero. SOS still moving around with these Phoenixes, really like spotter units at this point in time. There is the attack upgrade here for SOS. SOS is still having to play catch up with these ability upgrades though, for the time being. He's just using these Adepts to poke out into a little bit of uncharted territory to see. Uh-oh, here we go.
That is a lot of Adepts right there.
Okay, he's already activated the pylon cannon. Are these no? He bluffs it. He does not let the Adepts shade in over there.
Well, forcing even that overcharge sprint. Look at this. The Oracle coming in once again, getting a little bit of damage done right there at least. Blink forward, trying to get the Mothership Core. Not quite quick enough, though.
He might be able to get into a position where he can hit the Nexus.
Yeah.
But that would force SOS to attack here. I'm not sure if that's going to be the game plan here from Hero. But as long as these Stalkers are hitting this Nexus, I mean, SOS is going to have to do something. Whoa!
Wow.
Huge Adept shade in over here. So much damage over here at the second base. Meanwhile, SOS going to push away the attack there from his opponent, Hero. Meanwhile, let's see how much more damage these Adepts can actually do. 13 kills right now on the workers.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and in fact, trying to shade up. No, it looks like it does get canceled. More and more Adepts being warped in right now for Hero as well.
So a huge amount of damage done. 15 probes killed total, and it looks like that might continue on here if he has energy. He does.
Oh, man. The Oracle actually being worth a lot right now. Hero continuing to get that massive damage done. Now, the only thing that is bad about this for Hero is that his army supply has fallen drastically. He's traded a lot of army for a lot of economy. So I feel like we're going to have to see SOS move across this map and get something done right now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Artosis. Well, SOS might have a little bit more oomph with his army coming out here.
Yeah.
Hero had like a larger army with more technical opportunities and an engagement, but I don't know if Hero's necessarily going to have the tools ready to defend a big attack like this. I mean, it doesn't matter how much fancy footwork you got. When there's a bunch of Immortals backed up with the rest of SOS's army, things around it are just going to die.
Very, very true. But you know what? Hero realizes that this could be hard, and he's making a Dark Shrine. So watch for him to snipe this Observer. That's going to be really important. And also, SOS is a little bit late on his Warp Prism. He didn't start it until he was already walking out. So that is late, and it's going to make this attack a little bit slower.
I'm not sure about that Shaden over there. Didn't see the rest of the army with that, but he's going to try to press in now. Oh, he got Hero's Observer. That was the linchpin for holding this. I think SOS needs to actually go for it like now.
Yeah, he really does. There is a DT warping over here, and that is probably going to get the Nexus. I don't see any Observers anywhere near
I think that's his only Observer. In fact, he should be making another one now, but frankly, I think that SOS has to attack in.
Yeah, he just has to go kill him.
He's going to go forward here. Oh my god, he had a second Observer. Kudos.
Wow, really good for him right there. Okay. He is poking in a lot of my career by Hero with those Stalkers, trying to gain any value that he can.
Okay, he's going to try to loop around here. He might. Okay, he's not going to let those finish over there. Now, the pylon placement could be detrimental to Hero. because he's not going to be able to get his army over here to have a fair fight. He can kind of use this area to block off a big chunk of his army. He's going to shade in.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the jugular. He's moving in now. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for Hero. Here it comes.
That is a huge shade in right there from SOS, but the DTs are coming in. He did lose that observer. It's a very big deal. Watch him micro here, moving those Immortals, trying to get those DTs to hit as little as possible. And between the DTs flanking him and all the overcharges, Hero has held this.
That's right. We have one observer headed northbound right now. SOS trying to merge that observer with the rest of his army. He's beginning the fight right now. The Phoenix is picking up the more critical units. The observer does come in. He might want to try to get the observer here of Hero, and he does. Nicely done. But I don't know if SOS has enough of an army to muscle his way into this position. So both players surviving pretty devastating attacks. It does look like SOS is gearing up for another one.
Yeah, you know, SOS still does have the better army. He took a lot of damage there, but maybe he had done great move there to pick off that Archon.
The plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that Archon's really low.
Yeah, let me just see if I can run in there and shoot that. So he actually just kills that Archon and just takes some damage on those. However, this army's still here, and there's still enough Immortals here for this to be a bit of a threat. Hero needs to shove this back far enough. Does he have enough of a good concave here? I'd say definitely the concave going for SOS for this time being, but I don't think he has enough to actually bust this.
The time warp was pretty good, but that overcharge is really zoning him out hard here. It's hard for him to get into position against this. Does send a massive shade through right there.
Okay, he's going to continue to warp in over here. He's going to pick up these Immortals. That's the right play back there. Now, these Immortals are not great against these Adepts, but they definitely... Well, Immortals are kind of funny. They're always sort of good against whatever they're fighting, you know?
Yeah. It's just a great unit overall, but lifting them up. A great move coming out of SOS as he does kill off more and more of this army. And with that Prism there, Tasis.
There it is.
GG.
Wow. SOS takes game number 1.
Really well. I'm getting like nerd chills already. Really good game. SOS, what this boils down to is Hero shades in, gets a lot of probes, but loses a lot of Adepts, and then SOS with the counterattack. I love the fact that Hero immediately put up a Dark Triangle. Like, well, I'm down an army. I got to be tricky here. I've got to pick off observers and get some free kills. And it almost held it for him, but just barely not enough.
Wow, that was impressive. That was exactly the kind of game I was expecting from those two. Very different play styles, very back and forth, but you know, SOS, he just gets it, man. He really does understand how to engineer a win in almost any situation. And by the way, had he not saved that Nexus back there, when Hero had the DTs coming in, I think there was a very high chance that he would have actually lost that game.
Yeah, that was really a scary moment as well, right? I didn't see that other observer there, but luckily
I didn't either. I was like, that's it. But apparently he had one somewhere. I guess it is a bit of an inevitability when you see the tech like that coming from Hero. What else would you tech to, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much, you always are probably going to see DTs.
It made perfect sense for him to go into DTs there, and it really almost worked. It almost won him the game, but at the end of the day, the man with the bigger army will win the battle.
Also, really good job there by SOS just utilizing those Phoenixes, especially in that last battle. He got the 2 pickups on the Immortals and basically allowed his Immortals in combination with his Adepts to push Hero back. By the time those Immortals hit the ground, there was nothing there to get in the way of them because as SOS was winning that fight, eventually the Immortals land in the army of SOS. They die immediately. You always want those Immortals back behind the Adepts, Stalkers, pretty much anything. As long as they're still firing, they're in a good position.
Yeah, you really want to utilize their range when they get surrounded. I mean, Adepts are kind of like Zerglings in that situation, right? They're just sitting there pecking away. The Immortals are going to get blown up. So very well done. Really great first game as well. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, let's see now what the play style is going to be from Hero in our next game. We saw that SOS went for a quicker Nexus, followed up with the Stargate, and then into the Phoenixes. Now, he didn't catch that Oracle right away. Had he won that, or not won that, but killed that, he would have just been in like a much better position moving forward. But it did seem like SOS picked the right build, but also a lot of that was his execution back there. He's very good. Do you think Hero needs a tech change or just stick with whatever he prepared for this?
No, I think he played fine, right? I think that he made all the right choices. It's just SOS kind of outdid him slightly there. It was a super close game anyways.
Well, like we've been saying for a while now, these guys do make for some interesting games. Our map for, that's right, fun games. Fun.
Fun, 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 fun.
Friday. We're going to go to map number 2 here, or game number 2 on the map Frozen Temple. This is a very different map, a very large map. You can have some tough engages on this one.
Yeah, this map is a little bit crazy in PvP. We'll talk about that in a second, though, because the game is starting.
Let's get ready for game number 2, Hero versus SOS. Down in the bottom right, in the blue, he is
CJ Entis, Hero.
And in the upper left, in the red,
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
All right, let's talk Frozen Temple PvP a little bit. That natural